Hey folks, Mr. Fingland here once again on Finglish 101, getting together to keep academic and keep reading while this COVID virus is blown away. All right, that's our ambition, is to keep you guys in an academic mindset. And for the folks taking that Regents exam for the second time, this is an amazing book to do all those things that help you on that task 3 where you're looking at a text and pulling out literary devices. This book is full of imagery, full of symbolism, personification, characterization, all those big ones. And if you could just get good at pulling out a moment from the text, identifying a term, talking about how that term helps you understand the piece, that's an amazing thing to do, and I encourage you guys to do that all the time. Right? Today we're going to look at chapter 3 of The Grapes of Wrath, and like I said before, this book is formatted in a kind of weird way. It makes a lot of sense once you've read a few chapters, but it's a sort of zoom in, zoom out effect. So in chapter 1 we're zoomed out, right? We're looking at the Dust Bowl and how it affects all the farmers in Oklahoma. Characters aren't named. The man is supposed to be all men. The woman is supposed to be all women. The children, all children. Right? Now, chapter 2, we zoomed in, right, to the story about Tom Joad coming home from McAllister. He's a mean and angry man, right? He killed a man in a bar fight. He's paid his time. He's given 7 years. He's out in, I think it was 3 or 4 for good behavior, but he's on parole. So he's heading home to get a job, as he said to the truck driver, so he doesn't have to lie to get a job. So he's got a plan and he's going with it. Now, we go back to chapter 3 and we zoom out again. But in a way, we're actually zooming really in because we're looking at the road that Tom is walking by. Right? We're looking closely, so closely at the road that we're actually in the weeds on the side of the road. And in those weeds, we see a turtle. Chapter 3 is all about a turtle crossing the road. Right? And so one of the things that I think instinctually you're going to ask yourself is, why did the turtle cross the road anyway? Is it to get to the other side? Probably. All right? But that's, this is one of these sort of allegorical stories that sort of illustrates something that the author, John Steinbeck, is trying to get across to us. And it's up to us to understand that. All right? Now, I don't have a question packed in the study guide for you about chapter 3. But certainly on the essential questions page, you have the image of the land turtle, right, in stunning black and white. Okay, we had to copy a lot of copies this week. So we had a sense that this turtle must be symbolic, right? This must be symbolism. It must be an important chapter. And so we zoom in on the turtle pushing his way through these weeds so we can get to this road that's sort of a roadway that rises up above him, so he can get over that road and get to the other side of the road. Right? So we're going to ask you to pay particular attention. It's a short chapter. My question to you is, does the turtle achieve anything besides getting across the road in chapter 3? If you can find an achievement, you've won the battle because you understand a bigger story that's going on in the book. In fact, I'd say if you understand thematically chapter 3 of The Grapes of Wrath, you understand thematically the entire book. All right, so that would be a great accomplishment. Oh wait, want to find a little quote here, a little segment here. I'm going to be on page 15 of The Grapes of Wrath, and I'm going to ask you to read along with me. He's struggled all the way up to this road bank. He's done everything he can to get to this road top. And then he's up on the road top in this scene, right? And listen to what goes on, right? He's up on the flat surface now. Now the going was easy, and all the legs worked, and the shell boosted along, waggling from side to side. A sedan, driven by a 40-year-old woman, approached. She saw the turtle and swung to the right, off the highway. The wheels screamed, and a cloud of dust boiled up. 2 wheels lifted for a moment and then settled. The car skidded back onto the road, went on, but more slowly. The turtle had jerked into his shell, but now it hurried on, for the highway was burning hot. Close call for the turtle. And of course, we knew it was coming. It's a road. The turtle had no idea. Next paragraph. and now a light truck approached. And as it came near, the driver saw the turtle and swerved to hit it. His front wheel struck the edge of the shell, flipped the turtle like a tiddlywink, spun it like a coin, and rolled it off the highway. The truck went back to its course along the right side. Lying on its back, the turtle was tight in its shell for a long time. But at last, its legs waved in the air, reached for something to pull it over. Its front foot caught a piece of quartz, and little by little, the shell pulled over and flopped upright. A little moment there from chapter 3 in the Grapes of Wrath. Turtle had a close call, right? He fought all the way to get to that level surface, and what does he meet on the level surface? He meets two types of people, right? The first type of person, and maybe, for you guys who are driving now, or just on the cusp of driving, or you've got some friends who drive, think of a person you've driven with. What kind of person is that? Is that a person who, if they see something in the road, like Ziggy, right? Axel, watch out for Ziggy, okay? He's crazy. If you're with someone, do they try to get the animal in the road? Do they try to avoid it? I think Steinbeck's saying there are two types of people out there, right? In our human existence, they're the people who try to avoid, and they're the people who try to get that thrill from hitting something, right? But I'd like you to look at that last 5 or 6 lines that I didn't read, and ask yourself, what gets accomplished in this chapter? And if you didn't notice something happening in the beginning of the chapter, you see the end result of it in those last few lines. So if you find that, go back and see if you can understand why the turtle crossed the road, and then you'll understand the whole book, ladies and gentlemen. That's how cool this allegory is. Thanks for watching chapter 3.